Hey guys, it's Kimber and welcome back to my channel where I talk about living and working here in Japan. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kimber and I am from the United States of America, Arizona, born and raised, and I am currently living in Tokyo, Japan. Before I had moved here, I was living in Osaka and I had worked on the JET program, and I was working at an elementary and junior high school, so an integrated school in Osaka. If you want to know more about why I am no longer working in Osaka with the JET program and why I'm in Tokyo now, go ahead and click the link something up here to see my life update blog, and you will get to know all about that. But I recently got a lot of new subscribers and somebody had left a comment on one of my recent videos and they wanted to know more about lesson planning on the JET program. And I haven't really talked a lot about the things that I did at work on the JET program, and that was partly because I just didn't want to get in trouble, posting that information and, my students or parents or anyone seeing it. But now that I am no longer affiliated with the JET program, I feel more comfortable talking about what I did on the JET program. And so that is why today's video is going to be about lesson planning. So just a couple of background things. Like I already said, I was an ALT for an integrated school, so I had the opportunity to be in both elementary school classes and junior high school classes. The only thing is there was 5 ALTs, and so we had 2 main ALTs for junior high school and 3 main ALTs for elementary school. I was one of the main ALTs for junior high school, but I'm making a video for lesson planning in elementary school. So let me explain that. So when I first arrived at my school, I was originally supposed to be a main ALT for elementary level school students, but upon the arrival of other ALTs at my school, I got moved from elementary to junior high school. So a lot of the beginning months I had spent in elementary, and since moving from elementary to junior high school, I still went to a lot of elementary classes. So I feel like even though I wasn't a main ALT for it, I still have a lot of background knowledge that I can use to help you guys understand and to let you know more about how lesson planning and the outline of the lesson was for elementary school students. And then in addition to that, I had one base school. I only stayed at that school, and for elementary there was one JTE. So we had a JTE. Some people don't have a JTE, or they have multiple different schools. So I'm just letting you know that information because my situation may be different from other people's situations or stories or experiences. So please take that into account as I describe how like a typical class flow went for me and other ALTs at my school. Also, I was put in a really good situation. So I was placed in Mino, Osaka, and I had no problems with the Board of Education there. I know some ALTs I met thought that maybe their Board of Education could do more, but I think that our Board of Education really went above and beyond for the English department. And I mention this because a lot of this information is going to come from the materials that we were given to use to make the lesson planning. So we used a book, I believe it was called Enjoy English, and that had literally everything detail to detail to detail in it in case you've never taught before, which is the case for many people coming onto the JET program. So we had something already in place to help us in case we were ill-equipped for the task. Okay, so today I'm going to cover elementary. I'm thinking the next video is going to be junior high school, but for today it's going to be elementary. Some of these things are going to follow the lesson plan to the T, but you can always be more creative and you can change things if you'd like. But I'm just going to go over the basics and the key points. So let's start with number 1, greetings. So when you come into class, the first thing that you want to do is your greetings. This is called aisatsu in Japanese. This section of the class can be done in any particular way. I remember I came in and at first it was being done in Japanese, but we didn't like this version because English class, we should be speaking in English. So with the new school year, it was changed to be all in English. So how we would start it is we would say hello, and then the students would say hello, and then they would say each individual teacher's names. So they would say, hello, Kimber sensei, hello, blah 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 sensei, hello, blah 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 blah. However many teachers were in the room, that's how many times they would say hello and repeat their name. Then when that's finished, the ALT would say, how are you? And you would just hear a bunch of kids, I'm hot, I'm hungry, I'm cold, I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm angry, all at once. And then after that, the ALT would ask the kids, who's hungry? The kids would raise their hand, I'm hungry. Who's cold? Who's happy? Who's angry? You can get a little more complicated with it. Who's just fine? Who is anxious? Things like that. Just remember, like, age and stage, you know, do what's appropriate for the age that you are talking to. For example, with first and second grade, we might only do how are you, but for following grades like third and fourth, you could also do how's the weather, or what day is it? And then if you go further up in the grades, fifth and sixth, you could probably do what's the date today and what is the time. So the greetings would be finished, and then that will follow into the second part of our lesson, which is a warm-up, and this also varies depending on the grade. So for first and second grade, they would usually do like 1 or 2 songs depending on what they're doing in class, or they would just do like a fun song to get them moving and speaking English in class. You can find them on YouTube. They're actually like commonly used songs. They're called simple songs, and you can find them online. Some of the fan favorites that we have done in the past in class, do you like broccoli? No, yucky. Or baby shark. Just songs like this to get them up, to be learning new gestures, and to be using English words. For higher level grades, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, they may do something a little more complicated, such as maybe like a small talk from the ALTs. So the ALTs would do a demonstration. They would do rock, scissors, paper, 1, 2, 3. Whoever wins, they would ask a question, and then the other ALT would answer the question. The students had the opportunity to listen, and then they would have the Japanese teacher of English pick someone, okay, what did the ALTs talk about? After they do this review of a small talk, then they would give the students a chance to do the small talk. So everyone in class would stand up, and in pairs, each student would get the chance to ask the question and to answer the question. So like I said, this portion is just a warm-up. It shouldn't take that long, maybe 3 to 6 minutes depending on what you're doing. It's not the main lesson. So after the warm-up, then we move into the third part of the lesson, which is to introduce the goal. It is very important that the students see the goal and that they say the goal so that they know what they are trying to accomplish at the end of each lesson. So usually on the board or on a PowerPoint, the goal would be written in Japanese and in English, and depending on your class and the level of the students, you would either say the goal in Japanese or in English, and the students would all say it together. And that's just very short, like real quick, here's our goal, this is what we're going to do today, moving on. And then we are to the fourth part of our lesson plan, which is either going to be the introduction of a new topic, or it's going to be the review of a topic that was already introduced. So this can vary depending on the grade and where they are in the school year. Some of the ones I remember from like 1st and 2nd grade were very simple lessons, like fruits, vegetables, colors, animals, things like this. 3rd and 4th would be getting into a little bit of grammar structures, but also still focusing a lot on vocabulary and asking, you know, key questions like when is your birthday, or, you know, whatever, things like this. And 5th and 6th grade would be moving to like kind of like bigger topics that they can really like express their feelings about. So what they thought about like school trips, or like their best memory from that that year, that grade. And the introduction, I would say in general from 1st all the way to 6th grade is usually very similar. So all of the lessons have their own set of vocabulary. So what usually ends up happening is a lot of reading and repeating, which is not the most fun thing in the world, but that's how it's done. It's not my favorite, but it is what it is. So basically for 1st grade, if they're doing fruits, you would do the most basic fruits. The ALT would say banana, and then the kids would repeat banana, apple, apple, grapes, grapes, like this. So after the read and repeat is finished, which sometimes it can be pretty tedious, it can take a lot of time, this gets even more repetitive as you move up in the grades, because from 3rd to 6th grade, they're learning like whole structures, like whole sentence structures. Like, I can ride a bike. I can play a piano. I can play badminton well. Things like this. So then the teacher is saying, I can play badminton well. And then the students have to repeat that entire sentence. And it just goes on and on and on like this. That is probably going to be like the largest bulk of a lesson, is just like, let me say this and then let's repeat it. And then after, you know, like scaffolding, like one lesson you would do it with the teacher and the students, and then maybe the next lesson you would do it with this side of the students and this side of the students. So this half of the class would say, what is your favorite sport? And then the other side of the class would say, my favorite sport is basketball. And it would just go on and on like this. Yeah, I'm not gonna give my opinion on this. I'm just simply stating the facts. Number 5 is going to be the fun part of the lesson, what the kids have been waiting for. And that's going to be either an activity or it's going to be a game. So I want to quickly talk about some of the games. So there's 4 games that are pretty common and I think all ALTs know, and we use them to like review and make light and fun of the things like that we just did in the 4th part of the lesson, which is introduction and review and repetition. So the first game that a lot of ALTs like to play is the clap game. So this would be, you can't clap on a word that wasn't reviewed. So if you're doing fruits, for example, banana, clap, grapes, clap, Mickey Mouse, no, you wouldn't clap. This is the gist of that game. The second game is the keyword game. So you would have students in pairs and there's an eraser between them. And on the board, you have your flashcards of the words, let's just say fruits. You pick one of the words and that is the key word. Then you say the words banana, banana, grape, grape. My keyword is peach. If the kids hear peach, they have to try and grab the eraser the fastest. Okay, so the third game is gonna be karuta. This one is commonly played. All the kids know how to play it. This is a very like well-known Japanese game. So basically, the words that you're using, you have cards of them, small cards for the kids to play with, and you would put them on the desk in front of the kids in a group. They would all put their hands on their head and you would call out a vocab word. We're gonna do fruits. It would be banana. Whoever can touch the card that says banana the fastest, they get to keep that card and they get like the points associated with having that card. And then the fourth game that is played quite frequently to review new vocab and ideas in class is concentration game. So you have a set of cards. Each set has 2 cards that match. One side has the face of the card and the other has the back. You would put all of the cards face down, and then you would have the kids flip 2 cards at a time. So a student would flip 2 cards. If it matches, they get to keep the match and pick again. If it doesn't match, they have to flip them over and the next student can go. This is just a memory game. We use it for English because when they flip the cards, they're supposed to say the word. But yeah, these are the most basic and tried and true ways that you would want to review stuff with kids in class, and they're pretty fun, decent games. I've enjoyed them. If done well, I think that the students also, you know, not even depending on the grade, like I've seen 6th grade really get into karuta, just like I've seen 1st grade really get into karuta. So yeah, that would be the 5th stage of the lesson. And then 6th is going to be a review or a reflection. So this is going to be a little different in 1st and 2nd grade. And then I think in 3rd and 6th grade, it's gonna be the same. So in 1st and 2nd grade, review is usually the teacher will have some kids stand up and they can tell the ALTs what they have learned in the lesson, what they have done in the lesson, and what they thought about the lesson. It's really cute because you'll get like 10 kids standing up just because they want to speak. And one kid will be, I really liked the game. And then the next 2 or 3 or 4 kids will say, I really liked the game too. And the class will just be like, oh, me too, same, we did too. But that's how they would reflect in those grades on the lesson. And then in 3rd through 6th grade, I believe it's usually like a sheet of paper. They have their goal and then different sections for each lesson. And on that section, they can like choose like a scale, like a level of how well they think they understood the content from that day. And then that's it. It's I think a lesson is around like 45 to 50 minutes. That would be the end of the lesson. Everyone stands up, and then depending on how you want to end it, you can say goodbye or see you, and then the ALTs will leave the classroom and they will head to whatever class that they have next. And that is it. So this was just a very basic overview of what it is like to do a lesson for elementary school students on the JET program. What did you think of a lesson? Let me know in the comments. If you found this video helpful or just entertaining, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. There will definitely be more videos like this in the future. I am thinking about doing a junior high school lesson plan outline, so if you would like to see that, let me know in the comments. But yeah, there will be more content like this in the future, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!